The worst sports betting advice usually does not sound stupid. It sounds disciplined. It sounds confident. It sounds like something a winning bettor would say. And that is exactly why it keeps people broke. Because bad advice is not always bet every favorite or chase every underdog or throw money on a random game because it is on TV. Most people already know that is reckless. Advice that does real damage is the advice that feels smart while quietly removing the part that actually matters: price, process, and proof. So in this video, I want to break down the sports betting advice that sounds good on the surface but can wreck your bankroll if you follow it without thinking. The first one is trust your gut. That line sounds confident. It makes betting feel like instinct. Like if you watch enough sports, you just feel when a pick is right. But your gut is not a line. Your gut is a messy highlight reel of the last thing you watch, the last ticket that beat you, the player you already like, and the narrative that feels easiest to explain. That does not mean instinct is useless. Sometimes experience helps you notice things faster. But if the whole reason for a bet is, I just have a feeling, then the pick has not been tested. It has only been emotionally accepted. And that is dangerous because confidence feels almost identical whether it comes from a real edge or from bias. The second piece of bad advice is ride the hot hand. This one is everywhere. A player has been clearing a number. The team has won 4 straight. A role player suddenly looks locked in. So people act like the next bet is automatically stronger. But betting is not only about what happened recently. It's about whether the current line is still wrong after everybody has already seen what happened recently. That is the part beginners miss. If a player has been hot, the market probably knows. The platform probably knows. The number may have moved. The payout may have adjusted. And now you are not betting the old opportunity anymore. You are betting the new price. Sometimes the hot hand is real, but if the price has already caught up, the edge might be gone. The third one is you are due. This is probably the most expensive sentence in betting. You miss 3 picks in a row, so the next one has to hit. Your parlay lost by 1 leg twice, so the next one feels like it is coming. Your favorite player burned you last game, so now he owes you. But the bet does not know what happened to your last ticket. The odds do not feel bad for you, and a losing streak does not automatically make the next pick better. This is where people start changing bet size instead of changing decision quality. They stop asking, is this a strong price? They start asking, how do I get it back? And once the goal becomes getting it back, the bet is no longer being judged clearly. It is being used as a repair tool for emotion. That is how a small losing stretch turns into a real bankroll problem. The fourth bad advice is, just make the parlay safer. This one is tricky because it sounds responsible. Instead of taking long shots, you add legs that feel safer. You pick players with lower lines. You choose outcomes that look comfortable. You tell yourself the entry is built carefully, but adding more legs is still adding more ways to be wrong. Even if every leg looks reasonable on its own, the full entry can still become a bad deal if 1 or 2 legs are mispriced, correlated in a way you did not notice, or based on a stat that does not capture the real matchup. Safe looking does not always mean profitable. Sometimes it just means the risk is harder to see. The fifth bad advice is bet what everyone is talking about. This is how public narratives sneak into your sleep. The player is trending. The matchup is on national TV. Everybody has the same angle. The clip is going viral. The story feels obvious, but obvious information usually gets priced fast. By the time everybody is repeating the same reason, you have to ask whether you are early to the edge or late to the crowd. That is a massive difference. This is also where a tool like parlai can help. Parlay is built for the moment when a pick sounds good, but still needs to be tested. It looks at live context, current stats, matchup information, and lets top AI models judge whether the pick actually deserves to be in your entry. The part I really like is that it can reflect on losses over time, so you are not just guessing and forgetting. You can start seeing whether your process keeps repeating the same expensive mistake. If you want AI sports betting analysis with live context instead of just a random opinion, check it out at parlai.cc. The bigger point is this. Most bad betting advice gives you permission to skip the uncomfortable part. Trust your gut lets you skip evidence. Ride the hot hand lets you skip price. You are due lets you skip discipline. Safer parlays let you skip the math. And public narratives let you skip independent thinking. That is why it keeps people broke. Not because every idea inside it is always wrong, but because the advice makes you feel certain before you have actually proved anything. Better bettors do not need better slogans. They need better questions. What changed in the matchup? What does the line already account for? What would make this pick wrong? Is this actually value or does it just feel comfortable? And if this loses, will I understand why? Or will I just move on and make the same bet again tomorrow? That is the difference. Sports betting advice that keeps you broke usually sells confidence. Advice that actually helps you improve forces you to slow down, test the pick, and separate the story from the edge. Because the goal is not to sound sharp. The goal is to stop paying for advice